Yeah, 20 years ago. That's a long time ago, 20 years ago. To go back on time 20 years and start remembering exactly a one day in your life. Well, in this case, I have to say that day was a very special day in my life, and preparation for that day, motions, what I was going through was extremely high. So going back to that day in '99 when I won my second world championship, it was a very emotional day, especially after when I did achieve winning a championship after after the race. But before that, that motion, what I was experiencing, was very controlled all the time, which probably make me easier to talk about it after 20 years because it took a lot of energy to able to control your motion. Because the motions, when they are part of your performance when you're driving a car, it's not so good idea. You have to stay calm and controlled all the time. What you do when you do races. Only thing what made it the second to make it winning the second championship. Only thing what was easier was that when I was fighting from the championship against the Irish guy Eddie Irvine, uh, he had an incident in free practice, if I remember correct, and he really destroyed his car, and he never recovered back to same speed on the racetrack after that. So it gave me the confidence to know that okay, this he's not going to be the threat anymore. So it made me to give me more confidence to do my performance well. Except of course there was a Michael Schumacher on the grid, which was a bit a wild card basically because I wasn't sure what his behavior gonna be on a racetrack. So what I needed to do in '99 uh, on a race itself to make sure I keep him behind in a big way. Well, the start in '99 in Suzuka Grand Prix was, I knew that's the absolutely key point. I have to make the start to be perfect. I need to get the lead. So Michael Schumacher was in a pole position. I was on the dirty side of the track. And and what I have done that season, I have to use the word millions of starts, practicing starts, uh, uh, with the engineers, programming the gearbox and the clutch to function that way. It just fits exactly way my style start what I'm doing, and it just worked out perfectly. We had a great torque in our engine. The clutch was developed in a fantastic way. So also, I think the what and the advantage I had also that way the Suzuka circuit, the start and the main straight is like a downhill. So I'm using left foot braking on Formula One car, and I think 90% of the drivers today they use left foot braking. So I was easy to hold the brake with my left foot. Otherwise, the car would start rolling down a hill. So that was one of my advantages also, uh, to able to make a great start, and it just worked out really good. I was a bit nervous, of course. The clutch is a very difficult part in a racing car because first of all the clutch is very small. The temperatures are enormously hot, so if you do give too much stress for the clutch, you can basically destroy it. So luckily we have done a lot of starts during a year to make that to be perfect. But when you're under pressure and you are on a starting grid, you can easily make a mistake. So again, talking about concentration, the focus, the preparation for that, you need to be very disciplined. That way you don't give us too much stress for the clutch. Anyway, I had a great team, great car, so everything just matched together perfectly. When the lights went off, I made a start. I immediately felt like, wow, this is gonna be the best start of my life. And when the car accelerated, when you're in a first gear in Formula One, if you put your foot down, you definitely start getting a massive wheel spin. But the traction what I had, it was amazing. I was able to feed the throttle in a very aggressive way. And when the car accelerated, and the moment when I was changing the second gear and I looked at the mirrors, I said, hey, where are they? And when I was going to the first corner in Suzuka, I was just, only thing what came to my mind is, okay, take care of the tires. There's no stress. It's a really long race ahead of me. There's no rush, no stress. Just take care of the tires and to warm up the car perfectly. That after 5 or 6 laps, I can put the foot down and really go for it. So I had that luxury in the first corner to think this way. Yeah, then I just went. Then I went flat out, and it was really, really fantastic. There's only one problem when you're leading a race. Is I'm always the first one who is facing if there's a car in front of me, engine blowing up, the oil on the track, incident. So I'm the first one to come there. So the team position to keep me informed was really important factor. And so you all the time have to keep that in your mind. That way, when you enter every corner, there can be anything. So you never gonna come there flat out and turning, because when you're in a position leading a Grand Prix, when you're in a position that way you can win the World Championship, you really have to take care. Every turn, every movement, what you do when you enter in the corners, because you don't know what is coming there. Yeah, when the race goes on, 53 laps, when the race goes on, halfway through the race, you start listening. Do I hear some funny noise from the engine? Is the gearbox working well anymore? What about the brakes? So you start thinking about all kind of weird things, and the danger is in that moment you slow down. And Formula One car, again, when you slow down, the temperature of the brakes goes down, the pressures are dropping down, temperature of the engine goes down. So the car, Formula One is not designed to drive 90%. It's designed to go flat out all the time. So you have to be really careful that, again, what are your motions, how they are coming, part of your driving. So you have to keep it out of your mind all the time. That way, I'm heading towards the World Championship. Yes, I'm gonna win this race. You have to all the time stop that and live in that moment where you live on a racetrack. Well, that victory definitely was, in '99, was one of my hardest, toughest victories. And why it was toughest? Even it looks easy. Okay, start in front row, get the lead, win the race. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Again, the preparation for that race, psychologically, physically, was a massive challenge. And winning that race, I was completely exhausted. And exhausted mentally. So that evening, if I remember correct, I had a dinner with David Coulthard, my teammate, and Ron Dennis, and I said to David that way, that's it, man. I cannot do this anymore. I'm finished. David looked at me like, yeah. I said, you have to win it next time. I cannot handle it. and I was really exhausted. and it's such a burning process what goes inside in your mind, in your body. That was the toughest race, I would say. Well, I wasn't nervous about actually end of the day because I was very confident that Michael Schumacher joined the Ferrari, if I remember, 96. He joins the Ferrari 96 and not winning a world championship Ferrari. 97 it was very close, but he did not win it. 98, well, I won a championship, he was second. 99, he had an accident halfway through the season when he broke his leg. And that means it gave the opportunity his teammate Eddie Irvine to come a position to become a world champion. So in the last Grand Prix, I was fighting against Eddie Irvine. And Michael was there on the front row in a pole position. And he had chance to help Eddie Irvine become a world champion. But in my mind, I thought, no way he's going to help Eddie to win the championship. He wants to be number one. So I was confident that way he's not going to play games with me. He will let me win.